One of the first things to do when you arrive to the track is check your tire pressures.
Then I see here something that can save your day in many ways. I see a lot of stuff in this in this toolbox. So guys, as I said, we are with Matteo and we will see the most important things that you have to bring to the track in order to have a nice day. As I said, this stuff can literally save your day because you can have any kind of accident. With this stuff you will be able to solve 90% of the problem. So Matteo, tell us what we have here.
Yes, so the purpose of a track day is to have fun. So you don't want to have a mechanical problem or a physical problem that ruins your day. That's the main spirit to approach a track day at amatorial level. So I'm joined with Emanuele, and today we will talk about the main tools, the mandatory tools that we think are necessary to have a nice day and do not continuously think about all the problems that might or may not occur during the day, and they can, as Emanuele said, literally save the track day. So it's important to have them at any time.
And they are a lot. You can literally have a lot of even little problems, but they can actually stop you.
Yes.
So start with what do we have here? We see this strange stuff.
Yes. So the first part of the track day is to arrive at the track. So it's often an issue that most of the amateur drivers tend to not give importance, but arrive with a motorcycle that doesn't fall off your trail or your whatever you're carrying your bike into. It's very important. So here we have how do you call it? A ratchet bands to tie your motorcycle to any flat surface you will have on your truck. So in between the ties and the wall you must insert a square of foam or
some kind of protection,
any squishy materials to avoid damaging the bike. So this is very important and it's very easy to use. You actually operate like this and strap down the bike tight on your track so it doesn't fall off during the travel to the track. So very important. We have different models. This is a rather simple one, mechanical. We can also have one with an automatic release.
Wow, cool stuff there.
Yes, good stuff. Very easy to use, very intuitive to use. So now you are at the track and
finally we arrived.
We arrived at the track. So one of the first things to do when you arrive to the track is check your tire pressures. It's very important to give the tire the right amount of pressure so it can have optimal grip. So you can have a super bike, a Moto GP bike, but if you ride with the wrong pressures, it's all for nothing. So
you still have a problem.
You still have a problem. The tires are very, very important. So what can we do to prevent a high side or low side from incorrect tire pressure? You can bring a pressure gauge. So the right pressure, it's difficult to have a general indication, but because it depends on the track, the tire you are fitting,
temperature
the
of
temperature,
the air, temperature of the road. There is a lot of variables that is really impossible to tell one exact pressure for everybody. But we can give a sort of range just in order to understand. So which kind of range do you usually use to the track?
Very generic measure, as I said. The front must always be more inflated than the rear, because the rear is the tire that gives traction to the bike. So more or less 2.1 bar at the front and 1.9, 1.8 at the rear, depending of course of the level of the rider, track temperatures, many things.
Yeah.
So you can check your correct pressure gauge, but you must also
inflate the tire.
Inflate the tire if your pressures are too low. This is a very handy tool, very economical but practical tool that is battery loaded and
not very expensive.
Not very expensive. It's a pressure gauge. How do you got?
It's a compressor.
It's a compressor, electrically operated. So one tip that I can give you: inflate the tires and then check the pressure, deflating them with the pressure gauge, so you don't have to switch from one to another too many times.
Then I see here something that can save your day in many ways.
Yes. So how do you call it in English?
Maybe cable ties.
Cable ties. It's of course a remedy. You don't have to rely on cable ties when you have a mechanical problem, but sometimes you are more or less you don't have the optimal mechanical solution for a problem. So
maybe you have a problem with the fairing, something that is broken, very light, and you can save it with these pieces here.
It's a zip tie. Zip tie is the correct name. So you operate like this, and it basically saves a track. It can save a track day. So it's very important to, and very economical. It's a few euros. So
then I see a lot of stuff in this. In this toolbox.
It's a good measure and a good tip to have some basic toolkit to bring with you on the track. So you have the
screwdrivers, wrenches,
socket wrenches. I don't know the correct name in English, but the basic tools that you can find on Amazon. More or less at 80, 100 euros of a complete toolbox. So it's very economical, not too expensive. You don't need to spend a lot of money on the tools, but it's better to have them than not to have them. So very important and very safe measure to bring them to the track with you.
Then of course there is something that we don't see on the table because it's on us.
Yes.
So we need all the technical clothing.
Yes.
Boots, your technical suit, helmet, gloves, everything, because they are mandatory to enter into the circuit and because they can save your life. So absolutely you cannot stay without them.
Be sure to check at every track day the wear of your gear. So a suit mustn't have tears in them. The leather must always be maintenance. I don't know if it's the correct word.
In a good state of maintenance.
In a good state, yes. The gloves are important. The helmet is important. A helmet that is loose or too tight doesn't protect you in case of a crash. So it's important to have a correct helmet. Our head is the most heavy part of our body, and it can sustain very critical injuries, and it's not optimal for your health.
I see other stuff here. What is this one?
Yes, for a weight point of view, it's optimal to not fill the tank of the bike to the brim. It's always a good measure to run the track day with 5, 6, 7 liter at maximum, so that the weight of the petrol doesn't move around too much on the petrol tank, and it can give strange movements, especially on the quick changes of direction. So the less fuel you have, and the more the bike will be soft to ride and agile in the corners.
Absolutely. So with this one, it is useful to have a petrol funnel, since otherwise it's pretty difficult to fill the tank just with this kind of metallic tanks.
Yes, and I can show it to you.
I think there is one. Oh,
Yes,
this one.
Okay, perfect. So it's optimal to.
It is not actually a real funnel. It's kind of this
It's
small tank.
a helping tool, so that you can load the fuel more easily. It's very difficult to get the whole of your tank with that kind of petrol tank. This is way easier. So you put the petrol in here and fill the tank with maximum 6 liters. Of course, when you exit from the track, you do a refill of petrol. And
then,
that's basically it.
Then in days like today that is very, very hot, you really need a lot of water.
Yes,
it's fresh water.
Basic to keep yourself hydrated. Riding a motorcycle on the track is very heavy on your breath, on your physique. So you have to be sure to keep yourself hydrated, because it's an extreme sport, and it can be very tiring very fast. So water always helps. Maybe an energy drink also helps.
Something to eat, very light.
Something light to eat, of course.
And I think that this is like the most important things that we need to have, as we said, in order to
the basic tools.
To enjoy a good day without too many thoughts. And then, of course, there are a lot of things that you can bring to the circuit. So there are towels, front and rear tire warmers, stands, chairs, fridge bag, everything you need to have a shower. There is really a lot of stuff that you can bring to the circuit. But there is one thing more that you should bring, which is pen and paper and the maps form. Because with the maps form you can keep track of everything you do on your motorcycle, so all the setup, all the settings that you perform, you can easily keep track, because we provide you a printable sheets, 2 printable sheets, and also the Excel version to save everything on your computer. And they are very, very useful. If you want to have them, just click the link in the description and we will send them to you by email. So Matteo, thanks a lot for your help.
Thank you. Thank you,
let's enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes, of course.
Thanks a lot.
Ciao Emanuele.
Ciao.